Enter a world fueled by adrenaline.
Back in the truck. It's a repo!
Where there is danger at every doorstep. The world of the Repo Man is not for the faint of heart.
Hey, we got a fist fight. Get PD rolling, PD rolling.
Come with us as recovery agents risk it all to repossess planes, boats, RVs, cars, and semis, and learn the secrets of this billion-dollar industry. Next on The Repossessors. The job of the recovery agent is not for everybody. They face potential life-threatening situations every time they're sent out on a repossession. In Houston, Texas, Advanced Services and Recovery is sent to repossess a sport utility vehicle that has been spotted at a local body shop.
It's a repossession.
The shop owner catches them in the act.
I didn't work to the vehicle. You can't take it like that.
Recovery agents are shocked at what happens next.
Go,
The owner begins shooting at them. Fearing for their lives, the entire repo team speeds away. Thinking they've made a clean getaway, they radio back to base. Suddenly, more shots ring out. The shop owner is chasing them in a white pickup truck. The agents immediately notify the police. A chase through the streets of Houston is on.
Now telling me there's gunfire, copy. Say it, Victor.
The tow drivers weave through businesses and busy streets as the crazed driver attempts to cut them off.
Turn front of him. Get beside him, I'll get beside him. Get him between us, dude. I'm about to get No.
Making things more difficult for the repossessors is the fact that the SUV they're recovering is rear-wheel drive. Therefore, the tires lock up until they reach 15 miles an hour. Knowing a confrontation is likely to occur, the tow driver pulls over in a populated area. Tensions are high. The shop owner has a gun and wants his car back. The recovery agents try to calm him down. Then, in a moment of courage, one of the recovery agents makes a move and grabs the gun. His backup team quickly jumps in to help take the weapon away. When police arrive, the shop owner is separated and questioned. He's later given back his gun and free to go. The recovery agents are allowed to keep the vehicle. This is just another day in the life of the recovery agent. Facing danger is just a small part of the repossession business, which plays a vital role in the American economy.
No repossession, the economy would be impacted far more than anybody thinks of as today when you realize there are over 1 million repossessions a year.
If the lenders did not have the professional recovery agent available to secure their defaulted collateral, certainly the cost is going to be passed on to the American public. It may be higher interest rates, it may be greater fees at the bank, but the bottom line is it's all about money, and it's going to be passed on to the consumer.
The modern recovery business was started in the 1930s by the private investigation team of Ray and Lorna Lou Barnes.
They were the first two people to formally do repossessions in the United States.
The business really evolved out of the private detective business. Early on, the people in the detective business found a new source of revenue.
Banking industry started to get strong after World War II. Business really started to grow and the industry really changed in the late 50s to early 60s. The early 60s, it was more of a thug-type business.
This is the image of the repo man that is stuck with the business.
We're not a bunch of toothless, greasy record drivers. We are a reasonably good-looking group of trained, knowledgeable, technically advanced professionals. Many years ago, the general public referred to a recovery agent as a repo man. Nothing could be further from the truth today. Today, you truly have professional recovery agents. Their training, their equipment, their knowledge is something that they have to exhibit every day.
Houston, Texas, home to one of the premier repossession companies in America. Vance Services and Recovery.
What makes our business unique is that we try to run like a Fortune 500 company. We approach everything with standard business practices that are required to achieve excellence. We plan to take our company public. The people would want to invest in our company because the potential to make money is just unbelievable. We have a huge market, it's a $1 billion plus market yearly.
But as with any big business, its staff is its anchor.
All of our people are drug tested, they're schooled, they're trained.
Much of the training is to help their field agents deal with the life-threatening danger posed by irate debtors when recovering property.
Hey, what are you doing, boy?
The people do get angry when we go to the door a lot of times, or we're repossessing the car and a debtor happens to come out and try to intervene. It's human nature. When somebody has an aggression, of course, they're not going to take aggression out on themselves, maybe for something they've done, or if they're mad at the lien holder, they're going to take the aggression on the person that they see.
This aggression is compounded for Vance's recovery teams by the gun laws in Texas.
There's a law on the books in Texas that I believe presents danger to our agents working in the field. It's a law that actually was enacted pre-1900s to protect cattle and livestock. The law states that if you enter a person's property after dark and you're a potential thief, that you can be shot. We've been shot at several times.
Go. Watch out, they're hitting this dude. Go. Got shots fired. I got about 5 shots fired at me.
Alan, would you like to say anything about this incident?
I'd like to say that I could do without it.
We videotape our repossessions not only for our security, but for the debtor's security and for the lien holder's security. Since we video every repossession, we come up with some very, very interesting tapes.
But this is just some of the imminent danger that you face on a daily basis. What's going on here at this time is another seemingly easy repo. A debtor has jumped in his neighbor's car and started chasing him, and for what reason we don't know. So their instructions and our policy are to keep moving, get to an area to where you can stop where there are people around. This guy is just the most relentless pursuer. He's doing whatever he can to stop the guys, and he's done a good job.
It's a repo!
The guy's thinking at this time that he's going to intimidate the driver.
You're on camera!
And our guy stands tall, does what he's supposed to do.
No, you can't have nothing!
Our policy is we never let a debtor get into a vehicle unless we have control of the situation. We've learned this from previous experience. People open up their cars, pull out a weapon, and hold our guys at bay. And for the guy to save face, he walks back there and gets a couple of fishing poles out and leaves. He posed a lot of danger to the traffic that you see and our people and himself.
It's a huge responsibility to be a driver. They have their life in their hands, they're the riders in their hands, and the debtors, and of course the liability of the lien holder and us.
Today, Fred Robinson and Marcus Nicholson, two of Vance's best, get their assignment.
Okay, great.
And I'll call you with any 911.
That'll work.
Thanks.
Go get them. The name of the game is speed. You get in there, find your unit, get it, get out. Speed is what we need. So we do more repos during the day than half the companies in Houston do at night. And it's because we got good skip tracers. You know, we pin our cars down and go get them. I've done everything from furniture repossession to now car repossession. Been in the car repossession business for about 15 now. It's not something I'd want my kids to be in. It's a very dangerous job. You can't take this job for granted. You end up getting killed, getting hurt.
Fred and Marcus are looking for a Buick Century, which the debtor hasn't made a payment on in 6 months. Banks start the repossession process after 3 months of non-payment. If this car is recovered, the bank will pay a fee of approximately $500. They pull into the lot where the car has been spotted, and they begin their search.
About 80% you don't get your car on the first run. It takes a lot of work, and it's not as easy as people think it is. Okay, there it is. Since I know it's a Buick Century, this is a front-wheel drive, what I'm going to have to do is back up to it, throw some chains on it, and drag it out of its parking spot, drop it, turn around on it, and get it from the front, then we're free to go. That's rock and roll, baby.
Since this car is front-wheel drive, the front axle locks when it's parked, so pulling it out makes a loud, screeching sound. This is a critical moment because it could alert a potential irate debtor. The car is ready to be dropped, but one of the chains is stuck. Marcus instinctively jumps into the cab and races the car to release the chain. This adds a few extra seconds. Each moment is precious because any added time might mean an unwanted confrontation. Marcus lowers the car. A few spectators begin to watch the action. This brings unwanted attention and added pressure to move quickly. Fred backs up on the vehicle, sticks it, and the car is theirs.
That's cleared area.
Yeah, how's pitching?
Oh, yeah.
Now that they have the vehicle in their possession, they must pull over to further secure it.
We're fixing to throw tow lights, and we're going to bring it to our storage lot and do our condition report and bag his personals. Now we got to strap the front wheels down so in case we hit a bump, it don't come off.
I've been doing it for about 4 years now. I've been doing it for a long time. I like it. I mean, I think it's real fun. It's a real adrenaline rush. I think that's where I'm going to stay. Unless they need me somewhere else.
That went well. We didn't have a altercation with the debtor. The debtor's been hiding from us. We found this is our day. We got our unit. Nobody got hurt. Everybody's going back to the lot.
Coming up, recovery agents fight for their lives. The adrenaline soars as agents attempt to repossess a turbocharged high-performance plane. And repossessors try to take a boat back from right underneath the noses of the debtor. Later, watch a master at work. Stay tuned for more action and intrigue on the Repossessors.
This program is brought to you in part by, with Kodak Picture Maker, you can make great pictures even better in just 5 minutes.
I need to make this bigger.
Okay. How big do you want it?
Big.
Kodak Picture Maker lets you do more things than ever with your pictures.
That should be big enough.
Bigger.
And it's so easy to use, you can make great pictures even better in just 5 minutes.
Grandma, can you still do that?
Let's see.
Share the moment, share life.
At Kia's all-model sales event, you can get up to $2,000 cash back or 0% financing on a new car. Like the affordable Rio, redesigned Spectra, and the rugged Sportage. What's even more attractive, they're backed by a 10-year, 100,000-mile warranty.
They're here for the all-model sales event? Mm-hmm. Did you tell them all-model means all car models? Good man.
So hurry down to Kia's all-model sales event and get up to $2,000 cash back or 0% financing.
You're watching the Discovery Channel.
We love to camp, we love to hike, be outside, eat good food, grill. Working out builds up a great big appetite, and he's always hungry.
I'm a grill man. Give it to me and I'll grill it. Walmart Supercenter is everything you need in one place. Your food, your clothing.
Camping supplies?
I'm all about meat. I'm a big meaty.
He's a carnivore. I love the Supercenter. You can get something for everybody. I love fresh produce. The fruit is so delicious, really fresh. You can find everything you need, lots of variety, everything at a great low price. Come on over. We'll feed you.
This is a news break from Discovery.com.
Dermatologists have found a promising new treatment for basal cell skin cancer, imiquimod. It's a cream that's normally used to treat genital warts. Though not yet FDA approved, researchers have found that the drug helps stimulate the immune system to fight the cancer.
For the latest science news, go to Discovery.com News.
This Discovery.com news break is brought to you in part by Verilux. Free the Presbyopic 6. Verilux.com.
So, Ruth, how did you discover you had presbyopia? I was on a blind date, and then the menu came, but I couldn't read it. I kept holding it farther away. Hence the term long arm sight. Can you read this? Prime rib, broiled salmon. So you didn't know about these revolutionary lenses from Verilux that let you see near, far, and everything in between?
Veal piccata, fettuccine alfredo.
Take a moment.
When it comes to your family's diet, you want nothing but the best nature has to offer, like the good organic foods at Nature's Harvest Market. Owners David Taylor and his brother Ben, along with 3 generations of the Taylor family, want to say thank you for your patronage over the past 17 years. It's a community relationship they plan to continue, with services like free organic cooking classes, free lifestyle improvement lectures, and a free in-store interactive nutritional database where you can get the very latest information on health concerns. Nature's Harvest Market, your community organic grocer.
Mater Brothers Furniture in Tarpon Springs blows the doors off with a giant remodeling sale. They're clearing the floor with even greater price reductions on remaining stock. Save big up to a whopping 70% off. Bedroom, living room, and dining room sets, home offices, accessories, you name it. Famous brands, too. Remodeling sale at Tarpon Springs store only. A beautiful new showroom is coming soon, but first, everything's got to go. With savings up to 70%. Hurry for the best selections and savings. Mater Brothers Remodeling Sale, US 19 North, Tarpon Springs.
This June, the Discovery Channel will turn ordinary cars into extraordinary machines. Monster Garage, coming in June, only on the Discovery Channel.
From the Repossessor archives comes another example of extreme danger faced by recovery agents. Repossessors are sent to retrieve a truck from a woman who had not made payments in over 3 months. Agents spot the truck and start the repossession. Suddenly, the boyfriend of the truck owner appears out of nowhere and tries to stop the recovery. He tells the agents he has a gun in the truck and he's going to shoot them. The agents fight to keep him from getting to the weapon. The man tells his younger brother to grab a rifle from inside the house. The struggle intensifies as the truck is pulled out of the driveway. With the situation escalating, the agents quickly call the police.
We're in the street. We got a fist fight. Get PD rolling. PD rolling.
The man jumps in the bed of the truck and tries to grab the gun through the sliding back window. Then the unexpected happens. A gunshot.
Got a kid shooting at me. Somebody's shooting at me.
The younger brother returns with a .22 caliber rifle and starts shooting. The lead recovery agent makes a daring move and charges the young gunman. He takes the rifle away and smashes it in the street. The man in the bed of the truck realizes the agents mean business and settles down until police arrive. To keep peace, the officers order the agents to release the truck back to the owner. Today, the repossessors go home empty-handed. From big cities to small towns, repossessions take place all across America. Even in the small, affluent town of Bend, Oregon, located in the Pacific Northwest.
Bend, Oregon is a recreational mecca. There's just a host of outdoor activities.
Bill Herrick worked for more than 20 years as a police officer in Southern California before retiring to Bend. He started his own private investigation company that also does repossessions.
There just aren't enough repossessions in Bend to keep me busy doing just that. But what I do is I specialize in the ones that will make me money. I have to have the items that are going to be big ticket items that I can invest my time in that give me a good return on my money.
Bill's law enforcement experience gives him an edge on the competition.
The way that I work now is the way that I was taught as a police officer. What separates me from most repossession companies is the fact that I don't do repossessions very often. When I'm out to repossess an item, whatever it happens to be, I probably approach it a little bit differently. I probably put a little bit more background work into it. When I actually formulate a case and start working on it, I put that case together just as if I'm going to have to testify in court about what I did.
The repossession Bill and his team have today is to retrieve a $200,000 plane from a Silicon Valley man who can't pay for his toys because his internet business went bankrupt. Bill receives a call from an informant whose motivation is revenge. She tells him the debtor will be flying into Bend for a quick business meeting.
The call came in this morning. The plane's gone from where it left. It left a place called Reed Hill View, and I don't. That's someplace near San Jose. It's some little techie airport. Airplane is a Glass Air 3, almost pure white with red trim. When you get there, all I want you to do is just sit on it.
Terry and Ed's job is to go to the Bend Airport, locate the plane, and place it under surveillance.
There's an adrenaline rush because you never know what's going to happen if you're going out to surveillance. You don't know what you're walking into.
Bill works in the office while waiting to hear from his team that the plane has arrived. Once it does, Bill will call his friend Evan, a pilot who lives close by.
It's a small town, and you have to use the resources that you have local. I can't call up Portland and have the pilot come by or stand by because we don't know when this airplane is going to be here, and that'd be cost prohibitive.
Terry has arrived at the airport and starts looking for the plane.
Oh, I think I see it. I'm going to position myself, and then I'll call Bill.
It's there?
It's here.
We'll be there. I'll call the pilot right now. Hey, Evan. Plane's in. It's into Bend Airport. That can be okay with you?
Terry wants to find out if the engine is still warm.
That's a cool little plane. It's not warm. Oh, that's nice.
The fact that the engine is cold is of great concern to Bill, because that means that Detter has been on the ground for a while and could be coming back at any time. Evan arrives minutes later. Bill wants to do a quick briefing because this is Evan's first repossession.
What are you feeling?
It's a pretty simple airplane to operate. It just has a lot of speed that a pilot has to contend with.
You haven't done this before?
No. I guess, as long as no one shows up, it's going to be quite simple.
And if somebody does?
I'm not going to probably fight them. We can just do this another day, another location.
Bill's problems mount. He has a time issue and a pilot who will walk at the first sign of trouble.
If somebody shows up, if it's any kind of confrontation, I just don't think this is a good idea. So I need time to prepare for the flight.
The most critical time is that time that we've got activity around that airplane. Everybody there is going to see that we've got a couple of vehicles out, and that's going to perk people's interest. Pilots they're meticulous and they have a job to do. You've met Evan now, and he will not take that airplane off unless he feels absolutely comfortable. He's a friend of mine. I don't want to put him in a situation where it's an unsafe act, that we've created a situation where he could get injured. But at the same time, I want to get this airplane.
The fee for a recovery like this is $15,000 before employee and commission costs. Bill arrives at the airport and has a last-minute meeting with Evan before going out onto the tarmac.
Well, I'm going to go over there and drop you off. You can start doing what you need for pre-flight.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to leave you there for a few minutes until I can get with Terry and Ed. Okay.
Okay.
So we have a game plan going in case something happens or he shows up.
Okay.
Let's jump in.
As Bill and Evan head out to the plane, the tension rises. They will now be the center of activity on the tarmac.
I've never flown this airplane before, or its type.
Ed's saying we got a bunch of looky-loos, so as quick as you can get into this thing and go and start your pre-flight would be wonderful.
Evan starts his pre-flight check by making sure all the systems are working and there is enough fuel.
How we doing?
Probably just another 5 minutes.
Yeah, every second we're down on the ground is more of a chance that we could get burned here. That's going to take a lot of time. I really want to get this thing going. The quicker we get up, of course, it's going to be a lot better for us. I'd like to go.
Bill, there's just a saying, I don't want to rush, because things can only go wrong if you rush. So.
Pilots are very meticulous. Pilots like to do things in a set order. It drives people like me absolutely crazy because I want to get in and get out and go. Once this is near, it's ours. Right now, it could be taken away from us. There was a guy outside who was really paying attention to what we're doing. And of course, in a situation like this, we don't know who's friend or foe. So if we just keep everybody away, the faster we're off the ground, the better we're going to be. And anybody that comes out and pays particular attention, is going to be interesting to us.
Finally, Evan feels ready to take off. for a beat when the plane doesn't start right up. But then she begins to purr like a tiger.
Okay, we're ready to go.
Makes me a very happy man. It was a little bit intense there at the end when we're waiting. We have looky-loos, we have people watching, we don't know who's associated with that airplane, and to sit there on the ground like that just drives me absolutely up the wall. There it is, and we own it. That airplane's going to fly up to Redmond. We're going to go up there. That's where Evan will do his true pre-flight. I mean, he wants to look it over before he flies over the mountains and goes to Portland, where that airplane will be staged for the lender. And then he'll catch a flight back. So right now, we're going to take off. We're going to go to a meeting there.
Evan has no problem flying the plane. The only issue he's uneasy about is landing.
We're 115 to 100. We're a little bit high right now, on the left side of
Straight down.
Because the plane comes in at such a high speed, he's not sure he'll be able to land on the first pass. Evan makes an attempt to land, but is going too fast. He must pull up and try again. Now, with a slower approach, he's able to navigate the plane in for a safe landing.
Good job. That was great.
It was fun. It was good flying airplane.
Well, what did you think about that?
Oh,
This repossession ends like they all should, with everyone safe, no confrontation, and the lender getting his property back. Coming up, watch two big-ticket items repoed the old-fashioned way. Can agents recover a top-of-the-line speedboat right off the water? And find out what it takes to be a recovery agent. We'll be right back with more of the Repossessors.
You're watching the Discovery Channel.
On now, the Repossessors. Then witness totally out of control people.
John, what are you doing? Look, I know you can hear me. John? Hello? Come on, John, it's my turn to drive. Hello?
Sit down. So, you got a bum cell plan, huh?
Look, when I'm out of the office, I need long distance, email, internet, voice dialing. Instead, I get static.
I never said... Did I talk to you? Did I ask you? Who's this?
Your Honor, he needs the Sprint PCS Total Digital Connections Plan. Clear calls and all our business tools in one plan.
That's your story?
Nothing but the truth.
Thank you.
Sprint PCS Total Digital Connections Plan. Use your minutes any way you want.
You're watching the Discovery Channel.
Tune in tomorrow and discover the very best of Discovery.
Once again, Michelin owners have spoken, and we've swept the J.D. Power and Associates Awards for customer satisfaction. Now that's worth celebrating. Okay, back to work.
Hey.
Just went to Circuit City. Pretty big, huh?
Yeah, it's big,
But what?
well, there's just a little extra space all the way around.
Well, we could always go bigger.
We can go bigger.
You can bring it back. We welcome returns and exchanges with no surprise charges like restocking fees. Circuit City, we're with you.
Honey, it's big enough.
I can still see the light.
Discover the very best of Discovery. Kicking off with an all-new thrills, chills, and spills. Tomorrow at 8, only on the Discovery Channel.
Our best glasses?
They're our best friends.
Our favorite wine?
Now is the time to unveil the generous taste of Austin Vale. Let generosity prevail. Austin Vale.
We work for the investor, trying to pit which pharmaceutical companies are going to be winners. Wondering what the inventory trends look like. I'm a licensed physician, and I understand the clinical trials process, how the FDA works. Towards prevention, or are you going more towards treatment? It's an interesting time for the pharmaceutical sector right now. With the advances in science, I think that the prospects look very good. Prudential has a 3-tiered rating system, and being able to issue a buy, hold, or sell rating makes me feel uninhibited.
Florida is one of the busiest areas in the country for the repossession business, and Daytona Beach is the home to one of the oldest and best.
Falcon is really the largest independently owned repossession agency in the world. Well, we'd like to believe that we are the best in a very difficult field. There's virtually no place in the free world that it's impossible for us to get the car recovered. We believe we've brought a degree of integrity and intelligence to a rough and tumble industry.
It's like any other business. The more you know of the basics, the more successful you're going to be.
One of their secrets to success is the way the company thinks about debtors.
Well, we're mindful of the fact that many of these people are just people like you or I that have encountered bad times, honorable people that initially had every intention of paying the debt, but ran into difficulties. We're dealing with fellow human beings. We're also real mindful that almost every individual in America has an attorney now who's ready to step in at a moment's notice in case anyone makes any mistake whatsoever.
Falcon has 6 offices in Florida alone. Being one of the biggest and most experienced companies means that lenders for all types of vehicles use their services.
We've got a few repossessions we're going to do from our Tampa office today. I believe one's going to be an RV and one's going to be a semi-truck.
Repossessing the items will be the team of Al Smith, the private investigator that found the vehicles, and John Nowatka, the recovery agent.
John, we found this motorhome up on the north end. Do you have time to move it with us to see if we can get it?
Is that the same one that's been in skip for a while?
Yeah. It's probably a couple hours ago.
Do you have any more information on it? People, whereabouts?
I don't have any idea. We just need to go check it.
Let's roll. Guys like John Nowatka are extremely resourceful, and one of the ways they've chosen to expand their field of expertise is becoming proficient locksmiths. Doing the lock work is a lost art. John does harken back to an earlier time.
Al is a retired police officer that knows how to track down the collateral.
We've been looking for this motorhome for about 2 months. One of the inherent problems with a motorhome is that, by its nature, it's a mobile residence. So what do you want to do? How do you want to handle it once we get there?
Basically, when we roll up, I want to get a good view of what's going on. I don't know where exactly these people are. The main thing I'm worried about is just where's this guy going to come from if he's there.
And the information we got is that he's got a relative who lives about 2 blocks away, and he's just parking and walking over to the house.
Once we get inside, we want to make sure nobody's in there. I just need to get a good look at the ignition. That's our unit right there.
This RV is valued at $120,000. John makes sure he has an extra pair of eyes watching his back as he does his work.
Here, I'm going to go ahead and pick the lock to go ahead and get inside of it.
John doesn't have a key for the RV. He will have to rely on his skill to get it started.
All clear? All clear. This is a basic GM 6-cut ignition. I'm going to do a few cuts on this thing.
Once inside, the pressure is really on. John must work quickly in case the debtor comes back. Every second counts.
Try to get some marks. This is a Curtis key gun. Basically, by doing this, the tumblers that are inside are leaving marks on my key. Right here, I'm looking at the marks that I'm getting. This is going to turn the ignition over. It's telling me which one it is. I'm going to keep doing this until the actual gun goes over.
This is where an expert is needed and the forgotten art of lockpicking comes into play.
And we got it. Let's see if this thing will fire up. There we go. This has got all air pressure on it. So we got to get this thing fired up. We've got to get up air pressure so we can move it. We don't use those Curtis guns too often. Normally a lot of locksmiths use that just to make the key. Well, you know, we've been able to use that during the repossession, and it's worked out well for us. That's only if you're used to the locks. If you're not used to the locks, then forget even trying to do that. That's not for your novice repossessor. I think that took less than a minute. Your mouth gets a little dry after a few of these, but that one went over pretty smooth. I've been doing this for about 5 years. It's a rush that you can't describe. It's something different every day, and you know, I can honestly say that I wake up and go to something that I love to do every day, and it's always something different. You can't beat it. It's the best high in the world. From this point, it's going to go into our storage until the lender decides what they want to do with it. It could go to an auction. It could get sold. It's a number of things could happen, but for the meantime, it's going to be in storage. At this point, we have to report this repossession to our authorities, which would be the sheriff's department in this case, and let them know what we did, just in case somebody wants to report this stolen. They'll find out it's been repossessed. It's a real good unit. Very expensive.
You got wrapped up?
I'm wrapped up, man.
We got a semi we got to go and check by the causeway.
Let's grab it. We're going after a 1995 Freightliner semi.
The driver's in town and staying at a motel. So we're going to see if he's there now. We've been looking for him for probably 2.5 or 3 months. The truck driver, they're very mobile, so they're here today, gone tomorrow, kind of a hit or miss proposition.
We're going to hope that there's no trailer attached to it, so hopefully he's just bobtailing, and 9 times out of 10, if he's at a hotel, he's probably waiting for a load overnight. We have a key provided from our client. However, you can't depend on that key to work. We're going to hope it works. If it does not, we're going to pick this ignition on. When you pick an ignition, it could go in a few seconds or it could take you a minute.
They pull into the motel and quickly spot a truck.
I don't have a color, so I don't know what it is. There's our last 6 of our bin right there, so that's our unit. We got our backup right here. Let's see what I can do with this.
The semi's current value is about $20,000. Brand new, it would be $90,000. As before, John has backup to watch out for the debtor.
Already got a confirmation of the last 6 of the VIN. Keep an eye out for me from that door and that door over there. I would imagine that's where this guy's going to be coming out from.
John goes to work with the key provided by the client. It works. Now he needs to see if it will start the ignition. It doesn't. He'll have to pick the lock.
Our key is no good for the ignition, it's good for the door.
John decides to use his favorite pick and pulls it from its trusty place.
Easy ignition, under a minute, of course.
John must wait for the brakes to fill up with air. A tense moment when anything can happen.
I think we're about ready to go. Thank you, sir. This was a very smooth repossession, but it's not over till we get home. This thing's very loose. It looks like it has almost 1 million miles on it. You feel it in the wheel. You feel it in the shifter. It's very loose. The good thing was that it started right up for us, and we were able to get out of there fast enough. You always expect the worst, and if you get out of it easy, that's great. Skip Tracer Al, he got a tip, and when he gives us information, it's normally there. When it comes to information, that's his deal, that's his game, that's what he's really good at. And I feel confident every time I go out with something he's run, and boom, you see a product of his work right here. Very smooth. Good information. I think Patrick's going to be very pleased.
Coming up, follow the twists and turns as agents pursue a top-of-the-line speedboat. Stay tuned. We'll be right back with more of the Repossessors.
Tomorrow, watch our best.
All in 1 week.
From coaster thrills
To forensic science.
from the open ocean
To marine boot camp.
every night of the week.
Discover the very best of Discovery.
Kicking off with an all-new thrills, chills, and spills. Tomorrow at 8 Eastern and Pacific.
Only on the Discovery Channel.
Thank you. The outstanding protection more women choose. The one, the only, Tampax.
Like every Subaru, the Forester comes with all-wheel drive standard. The Ford Escape doesn't. The Forester comes with ABS standard. The Escape doesn't. And in independent crash tests, the Forester received the highest rating. The Escape was rated simply marginal. Nice car.
What do I look like? A dummy?
Subaru Forester, a smarter way to build an SUV.
See your local Subaru dealer for information on financing as low as 1.9% APR.
You're watching the Discovery Channel.
On now enter the high-risk world of the Repo Man as the Repossessors continues.
The bench on the right is being painted with Krylon. The bench on the left with Rust-Oleum. After just 12 minutes, Krylon is dry to the touch. Rust-Oleum, well, gee. Oh, not good. Oh, boy. For a smooth, professional finish, fast-drying Krylon performs like no other. Krylon, no runs, no drips, no errors.
Welcome to United Online. Joining together Net Zero, Juno, and millions of people who have stopped paying high internet bills. Now you can have great connections, fast page loads, instant message compatibility, and at only $9.95, it's less than half the price of AOL. There's never been a better time to switch. Call 877 only $9.95 or visit netzero.net or juno.com. Additional phone charge.
Roadrunner High Speed Online is the fast track to fun. Download music with Roadrunner Tuner.
I get music like that.
Share video clips in an instant.
Fastball over the plate.
Instant access to the internet.
Roadrunner saves the day.
And he's got Roadrunner.
Beep, beep.
Roadrunner High Speed Online from Time Warner Cable. The fun starts here.
One big weekend, one big event. The Memorial Weekend Price Splits at Famous Tate Appliance and Bedding Centers. This weekend only is your biggest and best opportunity to take advantage of big savings.
Come into any one of the 7 Famous Tate locations this Memorial Day weekend and choose from an incredible selection of name brand appliances and bedding, and all at the guaranteed lowest prices.
The Memorial Weekend Price Splits at Famous Tate Appliance and Bedding Centers.
This June, the Discovery Channel will turn ordinary cars into extraordinary machines. Monster Garage, coming in June, only on the Discovery Channel.
They say that great athletes aren't made, they're born. Boy, I tell you, maybe I'm being a little overly dramatic, but I think maybe repossessors are born. You have skills as a professional recovery agent that are so varied and vast. You have to be a private investigator. You have to be a wrecker operator. You have to be a clerical person.
So we're going to bring it to our storage lot and do our condition report and bag his personals.
You have to have accounting background. Well, you got to be able to drive just about anything. You have to have an incredible knowledge of tools and their use.
I'm going to go ahead and pick the lock. and we got it.
You have to be resourceful. You have to be intuitive.
We just came up with this new address tonight.
You have to have great vision.
The vision that I saw 12 years ago, I believe, is real close to being here today.
That's what makes the professional recovery agent.
Bill Herrick is a former Palm Springs, California police officer with over 20 years of experience. Now he's a private investigator living in beautiful Bend, Oregon. Part of Bill's business is repoing luxury items. These are usually the first to go when bad times hit. He firmly believes in the concept of repossession.
When it comes down to doing a repossession, those people have gotten something for nothing. Oh, I don't feel their pain when I take away something away from them that they never were justified to have to begin with. It would be like somebody fraudulently claiming welfare.
Repoing a top-of-the-line speedboat is Bill's current focus. The bank said the debtor was over 3 months behind and refused to return phone calls.
We've been off and on this one probably about a week and a half, 2 weeks. That boat has been in his garage. It's never been out. I won't go into a side of a person's house. I won't cut a lock in order to make the recovery.
On Bill's team is point man Ed Barbeau, who's been watching the activity at the debtor's house all morning.
Right down the street.
Good. What have you found so far? What's the activity?
There's a silver truck up there. They just pulled up. They're hooking it up right now.
You can't accomplish anything if you don't have some direction or some idea what you're going to do. It becomes a cluster. We'll either surveil that vehicle down to the launch ramp. When the boat comes in to get gas, we're going to see if we can't have somebody on site. And if we can create some kind of diversion, we'll jump in it and drive it away.
There he goes. We're mobile. Well, they just pulled out, and we don't know where they're going. We've got... Where the heck are they? Give me a sec here. We've got somebody waiting down the road so we can do two-car surveillance.
That is Terry Adams. She's another member of Bill's team. Just like he would do for a police sting, Bill wants to constantly switch his point car so the debtor doesn't get suspicious that he's being followed.
Where we hope that he's going is about 40 miles away, which is Lake Billy Chinook. The local lakes that most of the people went to because of the drought here in Oregon, the ramps have closed down. So a boat this size you can't launch.
Suddenly, the boat makes an unexpected turn.
Looks like he's going to go gas up. Maybe we should gas up. Maybe we should go get a soda. Kind of not look like we're following them. We're just waiting for them to fill up, and once they do and they pull out, then we'll go ahead and get back in behind them. It is so amazing how close you can get to people without them knowing you're there. They really can't see you, or they're not paying attention. Most of the time that's the way it is. We're across the street or we're down the road from somebody, and if you look around at all of these cars, you're not going to see somebody's face sitting there.
The boat is on the move again, and the team is back in action.
He hasn't done anything evasive, so he doesn't have a clue we're here. Usually if they know you're here, you'll see a lot of brake lights, like they'll start and stop. I haven't seen any of that yet.
Okay, just past Scentwise, I'm going to get behind.
It's not unusual, especially in an area that's a lot of construction going on. The guys come in, they make good money for a while, they overextend their debt, and then all of a sudden they find themselves without the next job, or they missed a bid and they get in trouble. And that's what this is. You can't afford his toys.
As the miles go by, it appears that Bill's hunch is correct. The boat is headed to Lake Billy Chinook.
He's making a left on the Cove Palisades turnoff.
Now it's Ed's turn to come back up to the point. Ed makes the turn, and unbelievably, the boat has disappeared.
Well, we were moving up to the #1 spot. This guy made a left towards the lake, and then all of a sudden he's gone.
Coming up, will Bill and his team pick up the trail of the boat? Stay tuned for the dramatic conclusion. We'll be right back with more of the Repossessors.
You're watching the Discovery Channel.
Up next, totally out of control people. And tune in tomorrow night as we kick off Best of Discovery Week.
Spell microphone.
M-I-C-K-E-Y M-O-U-S-E Mickey Mouse forever and so
first Disney generation. Now come be a kid again at our spectacular year-long tribute to Walt's 100th birthday. Call 1407-WDisney.
Around the block, just up your street, we're the neighbors you should meet. There are lives we live and dreams we share. We drive your streets and we're always there. We live where you live. We're a good friend who really cares. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
You're watching the Discovery Channel.
Tune in tomorrow and discover the very best of Discovery.
This Memorial Day weekend, Lowe's kicks off the summer with great savings. Get a gallon of our exclusive Olympic Interior Latex Satin Paint for only $10.97. That's a $6 savings. And at no extra cost, we'll match any color with Olympic. From watermelon pink to corner macabre yellow. But hurry, because now when you use your Lowe's card, make no payments and pay no interest until January 2003. So make this Memorial Day weekend even more memorable and come to Lowe's.
Express pickup. Wow, what a time saver, Ted. I mean, order stuff online, pick it up right away, and you're gone. Honey, you could have waited in the car. It's like we're barely even in the store. Isn't Express pickup great?
No. Save time if you want to. Express Pickup. Order online, pick up right away. Or we'll ship to you. Circuit City. We're with you.
Can I leave mine? I'll get it. Oh, here they are.
Discover the very best of Discovery. Kicking off with an all-new thrills, chills, and spills. Tomorrow at 8, only on the Discovery Channel.
I gotta let go. Gotta leave this thing behind now that I found something new inside. Watch me now as I'm leaving you behind me. Realize it's time to find what you see. Like a bird, I feel the wind blow. I know that it's time to go.
When we last saw Private Investigator Bill Herrick and his team, they were hot on the trail of repossessing a top-of-the-line speedboat. Everything was going as planned until the boat suddenly disappeared right in front of them.
While we were moving up to the #1 spot, this guy made a left towards the lake, and then all of a sudden he's gone. There's not a whole lot of places for him to go, but he's got to be headed towards the lake, so I'm sure we'll pick him up.
Not only has the team lost their vehicle, but they're starting to lose communications. There is no cell phone service in the area, and their walkie-talkies only work line of sight.
How he got away from us, I have no idea. Maybe he knows another way down to the lake. I don't know.
Or could they have noticed Bill's team and doubled back to another lake?
I don't think he picked us up. You know, I mean, with 3 vehicles, I just don't think so.
Even though Ed has lost the boat, he continues with the plan and heads down to the lake. Bill turns around in search of the bank's property. As he begins searching the area, Bill spots the boat in a grocery store parking lot. The debtor has not detected them.
The vehicle had pulled back into a little market in Culver, the side road, and we missed it. We went by it, and we went back and found it. But now I have no communication with my team.
Knowing his team is waiting down at the lake, Bill stays far behind the boat to avoid being spotted.
There's only a couple of places they can put a boat in here, so it's got to be this launch here, though. It's the most logical, and this is where most guys go in at it anyways.
Ed parks and waits at the entrance to the dock. As anticipated, the boat appears.
That's him. He just came down the road towards the marina here. It kind of looks like we guessed right.
With the boat in their sights and radio communication working intermittently, the team regroups and takes positions.
Bill's going to go to the marina and kind of cover that area.
The boat is right over here by me.
Terry's right next to it, and we're going to go where we can see the whole deal.
With the boat in the water, the team decides to force their hand by taking the trailer.
What we could do is we could go get the trailer. Because he ain't going anywhere without the trailer.
No, and we've already decided we're one way or the other. We're in the boat.
Keep going. A little bit more.
Well, now what we've got the trailer, and that puts the guy between a rock and a hard place. I'm a little apprehensive that things aren't going the way they should, and they often don't.
but we've lost radio communications. Terry's got the eyeball up on top, but she can't talk to us, so we don't know. So we're going to have to just play this whole thing by ear.
That's our man. He's driven the boat down from the north side of the lake over towards the marina and maybe a little bit past. Let's see where he goes here. If he goes to the marina, we're going to have to run over there and try to get him away from the boat, because Bill's got the trailer. He's by himself. That confrontation is not the one that we really want. We'd prefer him to come into the marina and we grab it then when he gets away from the boat. So if he makes a move for that marina, we're going to have to haul butt over there.
Much to the team's displeasure, the debtor has every intention of enjoying himself on the water all afternoon.
He's teasing us.
After a full day of water skiing, Bill's plan seems to be paying off. The boat is headed into the marina.
I heard you. Have they entered?
Yeah, they're into the harbor, so I'll tell you what, if they park this thing and I can get to it, I'm going to be there in 5 minutes or less. So I'll tell you what, I'll key the mic when I get in the boat. How's that sound?
Okay, I'm heading back. I'll prep in the trailer right now.
Sounds good.
Bill jumps in his truck and pulls the trailer down to the lake in anticipation of Ed successfully getting away with the boat.
We'll just run out and see if the key's in there. If it is, we'll just jump in and take off. If not, I'm going to have to get underneath the dash and start, playing with the wires. Saying I'm going to do before I even try to start it is kick it off, so I get it floating out in the water a little bit. That way, if they do see me, they're not going to be able to run and jump in the boat. Nice and easy, just the way we like it.
All the debtors can do is stare when they find out their boat is gone. They even become upset.
You do got to feel sorry for a guy who just lost something like this. If you let them get away with it, though, if these guys don't make their payments and, the banks are suffering, everybody's interest rates go up, we all have to pay when they don't.
Hey guys, that was great.
That was.
God, what a team effort that was. Did that go too good? Oh, that was fun. That went down better than we could have ever expected.
Even though the sleeping giant of a business has evolved into a viable industry, there is one aspect that won't change, and that's the danger to its field agents.
When they walk out the door here every night, they know there's a possibility that there could be a problem.
America's infatuation with automobiles makes quite a bit of difference.
People are in so love with their cars and they need them, they will not relinquish them for anything and for any reason. A lot of people's personalities are in their cars.
I have a job to do. Some people don't like the job that we do, but it's a necessary thing that has to be done.
This is a business where just about everybody's mad at you. The customer's mad at you, they think you're the bad guy. The client often thinks you didn't work fast enough, quick enough, cheap enough. In some ways, it's a thankless job.
But no matter what the obstacles, the repossessors will get the job done.
Coming up next, witness the chaos and violence of people on the edge. From maniacal fans to crazed criminals, it's all next on Totally Out of Control People. And for more adventure online, explore your world at Discovery.com.